Welcome to the Survive, Scale, Soar podcast. Hear and learn through the success of others how to build the life and business you deserve. Learn to overcome failure, what it means to seek out growth, and how to become the best possible version of yourself. And now, here's your host, coach, entrepreneur, husband and father, and author of the #1 best-selling book, Survive, Scale, Soar, Jeremy Williams.
And welcome back to the Survive, Scale, Soar podcast. This is your host, Jeremy. And this week I take back the mic to be able to share some thoughts that I've had over the last few weeks. Had some amazing interviews as of late with people like Jay Papasan, Stephanie Cribbs, Chris Heller, and many, many more. So if you haven't tuned into those episodes, I highly encourage it. There's a lot of great nuggets there for you to be able to take back and apply both to your business and life. Before I get started with the topic today, I want to share with you a story of something that happened to me as a business owner. When you think you have everything put together and then you realize you really don't. And that showed up, it reared its ugly head this last week. And I found myself in one of those situations. And it has specifically something to do with my podcast. So I launched the podcast after writing my best-selling book, Survive, Scale, Soar. Launched the podcast in January. Jay, last week was episode number 25. My goal is to have one out every Friday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. And for the most part, I've done pretty good at sticking to that. I might have missed a week being ill, but outside of that, every single week doing the podcast. And I had a client reach out to me and said, "Hey, have you listened to your podcasts?" And I have to be honest, I don't. I record them. I clip the ends up, the beginning off, the end off, throw on intro and outro, and I upload it to Libsyn, which then syndicates it to all the different places. And so I haven't really tuned into the audio quality per se. And my client said, it really sounds like you're in a closet. Like I can hear you, but it just sounds like you're distant. And I've got pretty good equipment. I have a blue Yeti caster, amazing mic that's on a boom. It plugs in, runs through my computer. I process everything there and then go forward with it. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay, the quality's bad. I went back and listened, and sure enough, sounds like I'm in a closet or underwater. So she had suggested to go and find an audio specialist. And before I did that, I was like, well, I'm going to go out, check YouTube. I'm sure there's been somebody else with this issue. So let me go out and see how people are using their blue Yeti caster. It took me about 30 seconds to find a video, and it took me about 5 minutes to realize that it was my settings and the position of the mic the whole time. So I have it set up as omnidirectional, and when it's hanging from the boom, it was actually facing the other direction. And I didn't realize I was essentially talking into the back of the mic when I should have been talking into the front of the mic. So yes, I made a mistake. I continued to make the mistake. I wasn't going to do anything about it. And then I think it was because I really didn't realize how bad it was. And then once I did, I was able to fix it. And hopefully the sound here is great from here on out. So I appreciate my client for reaching out, and know that small business owners do make mistakes, and it's whether or not they fix them is the thing that's really important. So even people are like, I had somebody yesterday, Jeremy, you're so great. And no, I'm not. I'm just a guy. I make mistakes. Yet I also push myself and do things that most others won't. And sometimes when you do that and you really challenge yourself, you're going to fail, and you're going to fail a lot. And so I just want to share that story with you. If you've had one of those moments, I have those like daily. That was a big moment for me this week, and I thank my client for reaching out. Today, I want to talk about the things that are unseen, the things that you do that people don't recognize. They only see the surface things. So like in my world, I coach about 80% of my people are real estate agents and about 20% is small business. I'm working on growing that other segment. Most of those people only see the side of me coaching. And that makes sense. You know, we have our weekly appointment, we have our coaching conversation, we set up our action plan, and then we see each other again the next week. So they see me as a coach, but they don't see all the other things that are happening in the background running a small business. You know, it's making sure the financials are taken care of. It's making sure my expenses are taken care of. And thankfully I married right. I married a CPA and I get a lot of help in that area. Otherwise it'd be chaos. And you know, the lead generation that goes into the business, the content building. I put out a blog post this week, walking step by step through how to build a really powerful business plan and accompanied that with how to have a winner's schedule. That blog post was almost 4,000 words. I included some videos, pictures. It took me about a week and a half to write it because I worked on it a little bit each day. And, you know, all those things, you know, the end user, all they see is that there's a blog post that's got great information. They don't realize the work that has gone into it. I see this a lot on people's health and fitness journeys. It's like you see them at 300 pounds, you don't see them for a year, and then you see them at like 150 pounds. And you're like, wow, when did this happen? It was done in those hours where they were not seen. Those choices that you make when others aren't around are going to be some of the most important choices that you make, whether it's your business or in your life. You know, are you eating snacks at night before you go to bed? The only person that knows that is you. Are you actually working during the day and prospecting for your business when you're working out of your home office? Nobody's around to see you or hold you accountable. It's those choices that you make on things that are unseen. It's like the iceberg. You've probably heard this. If you were to look at success and compare it to an iceberg, is most everybody sees what's above the water. They see the accolades, they see the awards. In my case, they see that I've written a book that was a bestseller. What they don't see are the things that are below the surface. The heartache, the work, the constant work, the hard work, the ethics, the relationship building, all those pieces, the failures, the mistakes, overcoming those, all those different things that are taking place below the surface, nobody gets to see unless it's shared. That's why I shared with you today my failure with the audio. Most people wouldn't know that unless I shared it. And so I don't want to go on much longer with this podcast because I want you to get back out to the world and do the amazing things that you've been called to do. Yet I want to encourage you today. If you're finding challenges in your business and challenges in your life, they're probably not surface level things. It's the things that are beneath the surface, the things that are a little bit more deep seated. And if you focus on those and work on those the things that everybody will see will come to light, even for yourself, they'll come to light. It's those choices that you make when nobody is around that are going to change both your business and your life. So go out, have a great day. I'd love to hear your feedback. If you think this might help somebody, share the podcast link with them or put it out there on social media for others to find. That's always great to be able to help more people see these type of things that are often not spoken about. So have a great day. Be blessed in all that you do. Onward and upward.
Thank you for listening to the Survive, Scale, Soar podcast. If you heard something that made a difference in your life today, share it with someone that might benefit and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Learn more about the host of this podcast and coaching services offered by Red Hawk Coaching by visiting www.redhawkcoaching.com.